All right, welcome. In this explainer, we're going to build a super clear step-by-step setup guide for the Quantum Navigator Futures Trading System. We're going to strip it all down to the absolute essentials so you know exactly how to get started. Now, everything we're about to cover comes directly from the source material itself, the ebook Making Money with Futures, written by the system's creator, Brian F. Adams. So you can be sure you're getting this information straight from the developer. To really get why this system is built the way it is, you first have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. And according to the author, it is a huge one, a staggering failure rate among traders. This system, really, is a direct response to that 98% problem. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with why so many traders fail. Then we'll get into the philosophy behind the system, walk through the non-negotiable setup, that part's key, decode the indicators you'll see on your screen, and wrap it all up with what might be the most important piece of the puzzle, the trader's mindset. Okay, let's jump right into this first section. What is the root cause of that 98% failure rate? Well, according to the source material, the real battlefield isn't even the market. It's what's going on in your own head. The author points to two incredibly powerful emotions, fear and greed, as these twin enemies that just wipe out most trading accounts. So the system's first job is really to help you get those under control. Now, this is where things get really interesting. The system asks you to make a complete mental shift. Instead of seeing chaos in the market, it teaches you how to find a very specific pattern. So the core idea here is that the market isn't just some random mess. It actually moves in predictable waves of buying and selling. Think of it like peaks and valleys, or waves rolling into shore. The entire purpose of the Quantum Navigator is to give you the tools you need to spot these waves and ride them. It's about taking the guesswork and the gambling right out of the equation. And that brings us to what might be the system's most counterintuitive, yet absolutely critical principle. See, your main job isn't to go hunting for massive winning trades. It's to be ruthless about managing your losses. The source is super clear on this. It's the big losses that kill trading accounts, not a lack of big wins. Okay, now we're at the most practical, and I'd say the most important part of this guide, the mandatory technical setup. This is the absolute bedrock of the entire system. And I really, really want to emphasize this point. The author is crystal clear in the ebook that these settings are not suggestions. They are required for the system to work the way it's supposed to. This is not the place to get creative or experiment. It's the time to follow the blueprint. Exactly. And here is that blueprint. It's just 3 simple, mandatory steps. First, you have to use the TradingView platform. Second, your chart's time frame must be set to 1 minute. And third, your bar type has to be set to Heikinoshi, or HA. These 3 things, working together, create the precise environment that the indicators were built for. Now for the good news. The author says he spent almost a year fine-tuning all the complex parameters for you, and they're locked in. What that means is your job isn't to constantly tweak and adjust things. It's simply to execute the trades when the signals appear. All that heavy lifting, it's already been done. So, once you've got that mandatory setup all done, your screen is going to show 3 distinct indicators. Let's do a quick breakdown of what they are. Your new toolkit basically has 3 main components. You've got the main strategy indicator, then there's an ATR/MFI indicator, which helps you keep an eye on volatility and money flow, and finally, a custom volume indicator to confirm the momentum in the market. Out of those 3, this is the one you're going to be watching the closest. The Q1 strategy indicator is really the engine of the whole system. It's what actually generates the buy and sell signals right there on your chart, telling you when to get in, where your profit target is, and most importantly, where your stop loss needs to be. Look, here's the crucial point. Having the right chart and the right indicators, that's only half the battle. This system is a tool, right? And any tool is only as good as the person who's using it. The author draws a really clear line in the sand here. On one side, you've got the account killers. FOMO, that fear of missing out, which makes you chase trades. And greed, which makes you hold on way too long. And on the other side, the keys to success. Patience, to wait for that perfect signal, and the discipline to actually follow your rules, no matter what. And honestly, this quote from the source says it all. The signals are going to come. The system will give you opportunities, but it's your discipline, your ability to take a small loss without even thinking about it, and then patiently wait for the next setup, that is ultimately going to decide whether you succeed or fail. And that kind of leaves us with this final thought, doesn't it? The Quantum Navigator is designed to take the guesswork out of trading. It gives you a clear framework, it gives you explicit signals. But the one variable that no system on Earth can automate is you. The system gives you the map and the GPS, but at the end of the day, you still have to be the one to drive the car.